Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the training session series of Deanship of E-Learning and IT. Myself Rima Shaheen, and today we are going to discussing a very interesting topic that is related to the importance of artificial intelligence in education. You can judge that today session is little bit advanced level, you can say. We will discuss something which is related to little future technology, and we already are much familiar with the technologies, and we already in an environment where we have a hybrid technologies, like we are doing a very well job in the e-learning, and also we are doing in the offline time, which is called the blended learning. We are using the different technology to make our education more strong and get the more outcome perfectly. But today I'm going to talk about something which is related to something in future, you can say. And the purpose of these kind of sessions and trainings are giving you awareness about the technology and what will be happening. If you think about something before, you can say that before 2 or 3 years, you were not ready to accept the technology. You were not ready to accept the education on an e-learning or online education. You were not ready for all these things. But these kind of education is necessary and essential for you guys.
वो आपका टेबल आपका आपकी मुंडी किधर लटक रही
And today I'm giving you one very interesting idea about the future of education and the future of a higher education. Let's discuss about this interesting thing, that is the artificial intelligence. By the name, it's looking a very rich and very technical word. And if I explain the in a simple word to make you understand very clear, that is the artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines. By this line, I can judge very easily that this is basically a combination of a human intelligence plus the processes some of the machine. We are going to combine the technology plus the intelligence of a human being, especially in a computer system. Specific applications of AI include expert system, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. Artificial intelligence-based technology have the potential of becoming tools used to promote equity and provide personalized learning. The use of AI and the other technologies in the colleges and universities open the door of a higher education to all, disregarding where in the world they live. Location and the time become a thing of the past, while curiosity, creativity, and collaborations are encouraged and supported. Students become global students and universities become borderless. So the focus of our education and the focus in a higher education especially, we are doing a work on it that globally it's working, that make the education for everyone. There is a no limit for the students related to just related to one university or one classroom, and there is a no border for any university or any country. In fact, a Stanford University study on artificial intelligence and life in 2030 shows how interactive machines tutor can be matched to students for a more focused and personalized learning experience. Today's students will become the leader of tomorrow. Higher education leaders who know the benefit of AI can have responsibility of equipping their institute with AI that will be able to access students, provide feedback, and test scientific hypotheses just as well as human can, but perhaps even better. If you're talking about the artificial intelligence in higher education or education, the artificial intelligence can help the students learn better and faster when paired with high quality learning material and instruction. AI system can also help students to get back on track faster by alerting teachers to problem the naked eye cannot see. We are not saying that technology is going to replacement of any human being. No, we are going to say technology will be mixed with the human intelligence and make the outcomes more perfect and more accurate. What is artificial intelligence in education? How we can use in a different ways to make our education better. We are talking about the artificial intelligence is not just related to the education or all these things. It's in all the field of the life. If you are exploring scientifically or on a bigger things, you can say there is artificial intelligence. Even I have one little example that if you are related to buying or selling something, for example, even in the latest in the Saudi Arabia, there is a one new initiative towards the, you can say you are much familiar with that project, that is Al-Baik. So they are going to make their system totally converted to the artificial intelligence. So this is just an example. Now I am going to move toward, because we are educators, and now I'm going to toward the education. So we have to know how artificial intelligence will be help us to make our education more better. So artificial intelligence can help us in a machine learning based AI, you can say, the natural language based AI, the vision based. What does actually mean of these three things? Let's have a look and let's have a know about what actually the artificial intelligence will work in education system.
Artificial intelligence for people in a hurry. The easiest way to think about artificial intelligence is in the context of a human. After all, humans are the most intelligent creatures we know of. AI is a broad branch of computer science. The goal of AI is to create systems that can function intelligently and independently. Humans can speak and listen to communicate through language. This is the field of speech recognition. Much of speech recognition is statistically based. Hence, it's called statistical learning. Humans can write and read text in a language. This is the field of NLP, or natural language processing. Humans can see with their eyes and process what they see. This is the field of computer vision. Computer vision falls under the symbolic way for computers to process information. Recently, there's been another way, which I'll come to later. Humans recognize the scene around them through their eyes, which create images of that world. This field of image processing, which even though is not directly related to AI, is required for computer vision. Humans can understand their environment and move around fluidly. This is the field of robotics. Humans have the ability to see patterns, such as grouping of like objects. This is the field of pattern recognition. Machines are even better at pattern recognition because they can use more data and dimensions of data. This is the field of machine learning. Now let's talk about the human brain. The human brain is a network of neurons, and we use these to learn things. If we can replicate the structure and the function of the human brain, we might be able to get cognitive capabilities in machines. This is the field of neural networks. If these networks are more complex and deeper, and we use those to learn complex things, that is the field of deep learning. There are different types of deep learning in machines, which are essentially different techniques to replicate what the human brain does. If we get the network to scan images from left to right, top to bottom, it's a convolution neural network. A CNN is used to recognize objects in a scene. This is how computer vision fits in, and object recognition is accomplished through AI. Humans can remember the past, like what you had for dinner last night. Well, at least most of you. We can get a neural network to remember a limited past. This is a recurrent neural network. As you see, there are two ways AI works. One is symbolic based and another is data based. For the database side, called machine learning, we need to feed the machine lots of data before it can learn. For example, if you had lots of data for sales versus advertising spend, you can plot that data to see some kind of a pattern. If the machine can learn this pattern, then it can make predictions based on what it has learned. While 1 or 2 or even 3 dimensions is easy for humans to understand and learn, machines can learn in many more dimensions, like even 100 or thousands. That's why machines can look at lots of high-dimensional data and determine patterns. Once it learns these patterns, it can make predictions that humans can't even come close to. We can use all these machine learning techniques to do one of 2 things: classification or prediction. As an example, when you use some information about customers to assign new customers to a group like young adults, then you are classifying that customer. If you use data to predict if they're likely to defect to a competitor, then you're making a prediction. There is another way to think about learning algorithms used for AI. If you train an algorithm with data that also contains the answer, then it's called supervised learning. For example, when you train a machine to recognize your friends by name, you'll need to identify them for the computer. If you train an algorithm with data where you want the machine to figure out the patterns, then it's unsupervised learning. For example, you might want to feed the data about celestial objects in the universe and expect the machine to come up with patterns in that data by itself. If you give any algorithm a goal and expect the machine, through trial and error, to achieve that goal, then it's called reinforcement learning. A robot's attempt to climb over the wall until it succeeds is an example of that.
So you can see that there is a mini example which is related to the human being. So it can work to the new, you can say, the area or a category for the artificial intelligence procedures. Let's move toward to know a little more about it. Here I'm just showing up one of the very famous, and he is worked a lot in the field of the artificial intelligence, that is a Bernard Marr. Bernard Marr is a world-renowned futurist, influencer, and thought leader in the field of business and technology, with a passion of using technology for the good for humanity. So according to him, let's see what he said about artificial intelligence. And there is a different points which he explained about the education, that how artificial intelligence will help the education system or in a higher education. The first thing is differentiated and individualized learning. What does it mean? It means that adjusting learning based on an individual student's particular need has been a priority for educators for years. Yes, this is the true. We want something which is related to every student. We want something which is good for the every student. We are not focusing the group of the students. We need to get the perfect outcomes for the every students. But AI will allow a level of differentiations that impossible for teachers who have a manage the 30 students in each class. So this is not a possible thing for a one teacher to recognize a personally one by one students and find any personalized learning for them. There are the several companies which are currently working and developing the intelligent instruction design and digital platform that use AI to provide learning, testing, and feedback to the students from the pre-K to the college level and the higher education level to give them a challenges that they are ready for, identify gap in the knowledge, and redirect to the new topic when appropriate. I'm sorry, there is a no voice. Please check your connection. So please check your connection and please make sure there is a voice or not. Everybody can listen me? You can tell me by chat. Okay, okay. Sir, please, you can check your connection, or again, you can join. Okay, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, I'm sorry for this interruption, but you can, sir, please change your connection or something to rejoin. So I was talking about something which is related to the individualized learning or a personalized learning of the students. As Bernard described, that as AI gets more sophisticated, it might be possible for a machine to read the expression that passes on a student's face that indicate they are struggling to grasp a subject and will modify a lesson to respond to that. The idea of the customized curriculum for every student's need is not viable today, but it will be for the AI-powered machines. If you are just talking about the simple teacher or in a classroom, it's not possible for her to just focus on every single student, but AI can do it very perfectly in a more accurate manners. Now, if you are talking about the automation of administrative tasks, how it will be helped the AI in the administrative tasks. An educator spend a much amount of time grading homework and test. AI can step in, make a quick work out of these tasks while at the same time offering recommendations for how to close the gaps in learning. The AI will not only just recognize the things, it will be also give you a feedback and recommendations to fulfill the gaps. Although machines can already grade multiple choices tests, they are close to being able to access the written responses as well. As AI step into the automated admin tasks, it open up the more time for teachers to spend with each students. There is a much potential for AI to create more efficient enrollment and admission processes. And now, if you are talking about the tutoring and the support outside the classroom, how it will be helped in this matter, that ask any parent who has struggled to help their teenagers with the different kind of the things like algebra or mathematics or something which is in higher education, which is just complicated subjects. They will be very excited about the potential of the AI to support their children when they are struggling at home with the homework, with the test preparations. Tutoring or study programs are becoming more advanced thanks to artificial intelligence, and soon they will be more available and able to respond to the range of the learning styles. So these are a very much high and rich things which are providing by the artificial intelligence. And one more thing, that the universal access for all students. That is the more important thing, that artificial intelligence tools can help make global classroom available to the all, including those who speak different languages or who might have a visual or hearing impairments. Like is just a free plugin in for the PowerPoint, and that create a subtitle in the real time for what the teacher is saying. If we are using one software, that is a presentation translator, this is a free software and you can just plug in with the PowerPoint and you will be able to create a subtitle what actually your teacher is saying, it will be interpreted. This also open up the possibility for the students who might not be able to attend school due to the illness or who require learning at a different level or on a particular subject that isn't available in their own school. Artificial intelligence can help to break down the soils between the schools and between the traditional grade levels. So these all kind of helps are help for the students and educators to make the things more easy and giving them a more wide opportunities to get the knowledge easily from globally, from anywhere from the university they can access. Let's have a look what Bernard Marr say about the artificial intelligence and how he will explain it is very much helpful for education system.
How is artificial intelligence used in education? I help companies use AI in practice. I help them rethink their business model and their strategy. And education is one of the areas where AI will make a massive impact. What is really important to understand is that AI is not a threat to teachers. It's not there to replace teachers, but it's there to deliver a better education to our children, to make this whole experience better for kids and for teachers. To some extent, AI helps us to rethink our whole education system and how it is delivered. I believe that we need a much more hybrid model where we basically get the best out of our artificially intelligent enabled systems and our teachers. For me, when the kids spend time in school with the teacher, they should be focusing on their creativity. They should be exploring things. They should discuss things and build their communication skills. They need to problem solve. So all of these things, I think, are vitally important. At the same time, we can bring in artificial intelligence to give us sometimes a more differentiated and more individualized learning experience. Because if you think about this, there are companies like Content Technologies and Carnegie Learning that are developing these platforms, these learning platforms that enable AI-driven learning, testing, and feedback that students will get. Think about an app, for example, that enables you to learn math. So there's Thinker Math, for example, an app that will track student progress. They will really identify areas that you're not particularly good at, and they will then emphasize, they will provide more learning on them. So the speed of every individual student can be customized. And this is something that a teacher simply can't do with a classroom of 20 or 30 children. We are already used to using these kind of approaches in language learning, where we have tools like Duolingo and Bubble that basically allow hundreds of thousands of people to learn languages at their own pace. It will accelerate learning speeds or decelerate them and focus on certain areas that the AI will observe where they need more support. And if you then combine some of this learning where some of the very basic knowledge transfer that teachers have to do, you can outsource some of this to AI and then actually make the role of the teacher much more exciting, where they can spend with time with students to do the really human, the interactive, the creative part of the learning bit. So using artificial intelligence in education also enables us to potentially give universal access to learning. In the same way that we can use these apps in our schools, you can make them available worldwide in any language, and any student anywhere in the world can have access to the best language learning, the best math tutoring, and so on. And artificial intelligence allows us to outsource some of the administrative tasks. We've seen this for a while, that we've had the ability of machines to grade our multiple choice exams, for example. AI has come such a long way. Nowadays, we have AIs that can write entire books autonomously, that can summarize entire libraries of books for us. So it is not a big reach for them to also grade written essays for people. So again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to enable teachers to spend more time on the things that they love and outsource some of the more mundane administrative tasks to the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is hugely relevant to schools, to universities, to any education organizations. And especially as education is now changing to a much more lifelong learning process, it will help us to engage students across their entire life, and we already see this in applications like Coursera and Udemy that offer these MOOCs, these massive online courses, and they are starting to use AI and leverage AI in everything they do. So for me, AI has a real potential to transform teaching and make it better for both students and teachers.
So AI is going to retransform the teaching and the education system. Tell me one thing, can you guys